You're listening to the RV Transport Podcast. I'm Tom, the driver.
And I'm Bunny, the sandwich maker.
And we invite you to join us on our journey in the industry of RV transporting, towaway, and drive-away.
So make sure you subscribe to our podcast and also TowawayCouple.com, where you can see our videos and other resources on RV transport.
So enjoy the show. Welcome to our podcast with TowawayCouple. I'm Tom, the driver.
And I'm Bunny, and I am the driver too.
So we're going to talk about different subjects on this podcast, so bear with us. But the segments we're going to talk about are the Hershey Show, the Blue Ox Sway Pro.
Yes.
And what
RV industry news and rumors.
Yeah, RV industry news and rumors.
And what are we doing next?
What are Tom and Bunny doing
now?
General.
Yes.
So, anyway, let's just dive into this. We personally never wanted to do a show.
No, because we didn't take our own advice, and you know, we always tell everybody, experience things for yourself and don't listen to any stories. And so we never did a show because we heard horror stories.
Yeah, we always say, be a leader, not a follower. Everyone has an opinion like we do right now. Our opinion may or may not mean anything to you. We always say, ask 5 other people. But we always heard people talk about the shows of hurry up and wait.
Yes, and bad weather and tight corners and all kinds of different things.
Right. Everyone has, it could be a good experience, but someone will always find a reason to complain.
Well, people are going to find a reason to complain just because they're going to Pennsylvania.
Or they're going to find a reason to complain because they're a glass half empty type of person.
Yes, you got that right.
So we didn't do the last Nashville show.
No,
we were dispatched to California.
Yeah, we already committed.
So we
had a family tragedy that we had to get to California, so there was no way we could do Nashville.
Exactly. So it wasn't even offered to us, but when we were coming back recently, we talked to our dispatch and said, hey, we have 2 trucks. Mm-hmm. So they said, well, let's run both of them to Hershey.
Yep.
So we're like excited. We're going to run both trucks during the slowdown.
Yeah.
Do you know what that's like? Well, it's not like, it is 2 separate dispatches when you only have 1 truck.
Yeah. It was like score.
So, and then we had our breakdown. Mm-hmm. So we were only able to take 1 truck to Hershey. And we basically picked up the trailer, and it was the fastest drop-off we've ever experienced in our life.
Right. Now, we did deliver Jayco, and they had a separate holding yard. So we literally pulled in and checked it in, unhooked it, unhooked, went up to the little trailer.
Yeah.
He gave us, he wrote down the numbers, and he said, okay, you're good to go.
And I was like, you're going to even inspect it? I mean, they looked at the unit to see if there's visible outside damage. And it was, when we pulled in there, we didn't want to pull in first thing in the morning. So we got a hotel.
We did.
We purposely lingered. And we figured, okay, we knew that our company had 50 trailers going to the Hershey Show. Now, mind you, they weren't all Jayco. Or they could have been.
No, I believe that was from our dispatchers.
Yeah, because our company has multiple dispatches. They have Grand Design. They have the Goshen Yard, the Jayco Yard. Well, we pull out of Jayco. So we had 50 trailers for our company.
And they were taking delivery on Saturday of Labor Day. So a lot of people didn't want to do it because it was over a 3-day weekend. And it was from Saturday from 8 to 3. So we're thinking, oh my God, everybody's going to be there.
Right. So we booked out there. We got the hotel. And we're thinking, okay, if there's 50 trailers from our company, we know that Indiana Transport, Horizon, and a lot of other
Synergy,
companies also pulled Jayco. We're thinking, man, there's going to be 300 trailers there, and we're going to be 299 and 300.
Because that's always our luck.
Right, but we only pulled one trailer, so, but like anyone else, we don't want to go and wait.
No. I mean, we had everything ready. I had my waters ready. We had breakfast. We were going to hurry up and wait.
Yeah, I mean, we got an email from our company, and it basically said, please be patient. Mm-hmm. And when they say it like that, and it was emphasized, please be patient, we were fully expecting for a whole day.
We were.
On a delivery. So we were pleasantly surprised. Last year, we were a little nervous because last year somebody went on Facebook and they were posting hour by hour because it was pouring rain. They had them going to a truck stop to hunker down there. Then they were calling them and telling them individually, okay, bring your trailer and bring your trailer in. And this person was on Facebook posting it. It wasn't overly negative. The person was expressing their dissatisfaction.
And certainly frustrated.
And then we seen the Facebook post a couple days later where this person was deleased from their company because of the negativity on Facebook. So with that said, keep in mind, these companies do read Facebook, and a lot of them don't comment. A lot of them just kind of stay behind the scenes, but they do read it. And if you do put the company in a negative light, you could risk your lease.
Yeah, exactly.
But we read that, and it put a sour note on us.
So yeah, we were just, certainly afraid to do it, but man, I wish all deliveries were that easy.
That was so cool. So we came back. Unfortunately,
well, hold on here.
Hold on.
We didn't get there until I think we got there at 10 or 10:30 Saturday morning.
Right.
And we were literally in and out in less than 10 minutes.
Right.
Absolutely nobody in front of us. Well, there were 3 or 4 people that had pulled in right in front of us.
Oh, we met that one couple.
Yeah.
They both drive.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking to them.
Now, I do have to say there was quite a few trailers that were already there. So, if you were there at 8 in the morning, you might have waited.
Now, there were quite a few trailers that were already there. And as fast, they had a whole group of people washing each trailer. So it literally took them only 5 minutes per trailer because they had 20 people per trailer all doing a specific task. And as fast as they were washing them, they were moving them from the wash area to another holding area and then moving the trailers where we were dropping into the wash area. And all those people were doing was going back and forth. And I'm going to assume as fast as they were dropping them in the secondary holding area after the wash, somebody else was coming and picking them up, taking them over to the show.
Right. Well, because they were going to start running shuttles on Monday.
Oh, on Monday or Tuesday?
Monday.
Okay. Yeah, because we offered to stick around. We ended up staying in Pennsylvania for the weekend.
Yeah, because we had already made plans to go ahead and just stay in Pennsylvania, and we volunteered to run shuttles, but they were already full.
Yeah, they were full before we offered, but we still, like a guy said, he goes, sometimes people break down, they don't show up, or emergencies arise. Mm-hmm. So he took our information, but he never called. It would have been nice to call, just say, hey, we're full, and then we wouldn't have been kind of waiting,
right?
Because we made a commitment to do it, and we kind of stuck around just in case that phone call came in, and it didn't come in, but would have been extra money.
Yep. Any extra money is good right now.
Right. So we hung out over by Gettysburg for the weekend. We had a great time, and we came back. And we sat for 2 weeks.
We did. We sat.
We found out that right after everything went to Hershey, Jayco shut down for a week and a half.
Right.
And so there was absolutely no trailers. I think they were saying they had one. Yeah.
So for everybody out there sitting, we're all sitting.
So
we're all sitting.
We just went back.
We did. So they actually called us and they said, "Hey, are you gonna run both trucks to?"
Yeah, because we just got the other one fixed.
Mm-hmm. To help with the end of the show, and we're like, "Absolutely, we are."
Well, we were a little nervous. Bunny had signed up on Starfleet as a drive-away driver. Mm-hmm. And so there was options that we typically only go the same direction, or we go the same direction within so many miles of each other. So we're not going the opposite direction, 100 miles each way, and then we're 4 hours apart from each other.
Yeah.
So one of the thoughts was, if they couldn't get us 2 trailers at the Hershey Show going to a dealership, what would we do with the second truck?
There was a couple people that had volunteered their property in case they needed to leave trailers there. So that was at least an option that we could have left one of our trucks on somebody's property.
Our other thought was the hotel that we stayed at had a pretty big parking lot.
And a big one,
We
yeah.
could have snuck one of the trucks in there.
They would have never known.
They would have never known. So that was a thought. Mm-hmm. And we actually thought about, Bunny has huge point standings with the hotel. We thought about going in and flashing the card and saying, "Hey, we need to leave our truck here," and I'm sure they would have said no problem.
Yeah, because I mean, and especially we stayed in one of those hotels that night anyways.
You know, another thought was, if we were just going to run during the day, we as long as we were back before, say, 10 o'clock, we even thought about going and dropping, one of us going and dropping the truck at Walmart, going in one entrance, and then coming out the other entrance and getting in the other truck.
Yeah, Walmart scares me.
It does scare me, because I don't want to get towed.
No. So we ended up, we got very lucky. Our dispatcher worked wonderful with us.
Yeah, he did a great job. He was definitely frustrated because he had very short notice on everything, and he had all these drivers, and we totally appreciate that.
I could only imagine the stress level.
That he got us hooked up. So we ended up with 6 runs.
Well, we ended up going to New Jersey first.
Yeah. So we got us 2 trailers going to the same dealership in New Jersey.
Yes. So we stayed the night in the truck in New Jersey.
Which sucked.
Yeah, that was not a good night.
We sleep in hotels. But there was really nothing around there.
No, So we ended up sleeping in the truck, dropping those first thing in the morning. Then there was another driver there too.
He woke us up.
He did.
Thankfully.
And so they knew that we were all heading back to Hershey, so they literally got us in and out.
They didn't open till 9, but they got us out of there by 8 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. So then we turned around and drove through Philadelphia.
Oh, God, that was horrendous.
Philadelphia in rush hour traffic was not fun.
We would never want to take trailers through Philadelphia.
Oh, God, no.
They drive like idiots, and they're not going to give you an inch.
That was horrible. So we actually stopped and got, because we didn't want to hurry up and wait.
Well,
and we still didn't know any information.
I want to say one thing real quick.
No.
Yes. I want to give the shout out to the wave drivers that were broke down.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
We don't stop for hazards, because a lot of times we stop and people are just on their phone or they're adjusting something. But when we see triangles, we pull over. And we saw triangles and we pulled over. They were on their way to New Jersey. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing they were going to New Jersey with Wave. And then they were probably going to go to the Hershey Show. And they had a right front wheel bearing go out on them. And that guy was able to find a wheel bearing local off the toll road.
On Sunday evening.
I don't know how he did it, but he pulled a miracle.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
So we didn't see him on the way back, so we assumed that she said that he would have it fixed within 45 minutes. and the previous one went out in Vegas. So we hope they made it. We did pull over for them, and a lot of people think transporters will pull over. You cannot expect anyone to pull over for you.
No.
We saw several transporters that passed us, and they did not pull over either.
No.
So I'm not trying to pat ourselves on the back, but a lot of people get in this thinking kumbaya.
Yeah, definitely not kumbaya.
That's the brotherhood.
That's for damn sure.
So yeah, we got back, and after going through Philadelphia.
And so we got there, and we stopped and grabbed some lunch because we thought, oh, okay, well, how long are we going to wait today? You know, it's all new. And we got right there, and our dispatcher said, oh, you're there already? I'll get your stuff. And next thing I know, here comes these dispatches. And we ended up running, it was 22 miles one way.
Now, here's the deal, the sweet deal on this. There was somebody that had 200-mile runs and 3 25-mile runs.
Correct.
Same location. Pete's RV. It was just a crazy madhouse.
And then it's a small dealership anyways, and here comes all these units
transporters. So doing the math. Okay, so typically on your short runs like that, depending on the company, our company pays a flat fee.
Yes.
So to go 25 miles is actually more valuable than going 200 miles because of time and basically $1 per mile. So going 200 miles would have paid $196.
Right.
Going 25 miles paid $175 flat fee. That worked out really well because all of our runs were 25 miles. So we were able to we did 4 one day.
But don't think that 22 miles is
all freeway. It took 40 minutes.
There is no freeway.
Yeah, it took us 40 minutes one way. So we were going to try to do the last 2. So it would have been 6. But we didn't get the first dispatch until noon.
Right.
12:15. And by the time all said and done with the line of RVs going in there, and they were fast. They just walked around the unit, signed your paper, and you were gone. We would have been there between 6 and 7, and they were willing to stay open. And we told them, well, we're just going to go get a hotel because we got to drive back.
We were wiped out. We were so tired from not sleeping the night before and running it was only we each ran 2 units, but, just in the daytime and going through Philadelphia and all that fun stuff, we were just wiped out. But I do have to give a shout out to Pete's RV.
Yeah.
Because I kind of got my paperwork all messed up. And when we came rolling in there the next morning with the last 2 units, they sat there and they worked with it and we got everything straightened out.
Over an hour.
Yes. Yeah.
Because with 2 of us running, it was very easy to transpose.
And that's exactly what happened.
Because everything was a madhouse. Everyone was rushing. It was nobody's fault. But, we got it all fixed up and we got paid today. We
did get paid. But, we're rolling in there with, at one point, there was 8 transporters right there.
Now, the reason why we got a hotel and ran the the 5th and 6th units the next day was if we would have ran them that night, we probably wouldn't have been able to eat dinner anywhere.
No.
And we were going to have to get a hotel anyways. So it was just better that we got back in Hershey about 6:30, got our hotel room, found a nice little restaurant.
That had a patio, so we could take Bama and our little dog with us.
That was so funny. Bama was sitting there all quiet, and we're kind of feeding her under the table. Then we forgot about her. And this couple were sitting right across from us, and then Bama decided to let us know we forgot her and barked. Really loud. And that woman about jumped. She came off her seat at least 6 inches. If she was in a heart attack or stroke situation, she would have had it right then. That was funny as hell, though. So,
And then she couldn't see her because she's so little.
Right. So, basically, the Hershey Show was a great time. It was a blast. Bunny looked up some statistics on the Hershey Show.
The Hershey Show is America's largest show. This year it went from September 14th to the 18th. They had more than 1,300 RVs from over 40 manufacturers and an attendance of just under 50,000 people.
50,000 people.
So hopefully those 50,000 people will all buy an RV and we can get back to work.
Exactly. So the question now, would we do another show?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially Starfleet took really good care of us. Our dispatcher, Greg, he was on it. He answered the call. He didn't blow us off at all. We saw other drivers. He was working with them, and he stayed on with them. And he would just tell you to hold tight for a minute, get it all done. Next thing you know, you get an email, then a phone call saying, "Okay, got you dispatched." So he did a really, really good job, and we just want to say thank you to Greg.
Yeah, I was very, very appreciative.
Yep. So we are gonna in this segment, and we're gonna try to break our podcast up into like 3 or 4 segments.
Right. That way you don't have to hear us ramble about one thing for over an hour.
Exactly. So, and we might touch back on the Hershey Show, because usually after we do a podcast or a video, we'll get follow-up questions or feedback, and we go, oh, we didn't think to mention that. So we might follow up a little bit later on it.
Yes.
All right, so give us 1 second. We'll be right back. And we are back. We're going to talk about
the Blue Ox Sway Control Pro.
The Sway Pro.
Sway Pro.
Sway Pro. Say that 3 times fast.
Sway Pro, Sway Pro, Sway Pro. Doesn't work.
So when we got the second truck, when we first started.
You mean my truck?
Okay.
Sorry.
What did you say? Your truck's bigger?
My truck's bigger.
Bunny drives the dually.
Over.
People get shocked. Someone mentioned something about that.
Yeah. The dealer at, or the
the dealer at Pete's RV.
Sales manager at Pete's RV was looking at Tom's trailer, and then he came back and looked at mine, and I stepped out, and he goes, "Wow, you got the nice new truck."
Yep.
But you know what? My husband loves me, so he wants to make sure I have the best and the most stable.
Exactly. So I want to make sure she's safe at all times.
Yeah.
Now, we needed a second weight distribution hitch.
Yes.
And so we kept hearing about the Blue Ox Sway Pro, and talking with Ryan over at Dan's Hitch, and he was explaining it and saying, he gets a lot of feedback that how stable the trailers are, especially on a single rear wheel.
Yes. A short wheelbase at that.
A short wheelbase with all-terrain tires.
Yeah. Because even though it's a work truck, we want it to look badass.
We keep it looking badass.
Yeah.
So we decided, well, we have the Husky one with the chains. Mm-hmm. They both have chains, but the Husky one has the snap-up hangers for the trailer tongue.
It's economical.
It was economical, because when I was first looking at them, when I first ordered all my stuff 2.5 years ago, Ty over at Dan's Hitch actually recommended the Blue Ox.
Yes.
And
you kind of kicked it around at that point, but
a lot of people know I'm a go big or go home, but I didn't understand it.
No.
I just thought Blue Ox is going off the name versus the quality.
Yes.
Because I'd never seen the Sway Pro, I knew that they did tow bars.
Yeah, and because they function differently.
Exactly.
But we didn't understand that.
Right. So my assumption was, because I've always had sway bars on all my trailers, and typically you either bolt the sway bar little round ball to the tongue of the trailer, or you weld it on. I always just welded mine on. Mm-hmm. I always welded the brackets on for the weight distribution hitches. A, I didn't want to get stolen, and B, they were always in the right place at the right time, and hook and book.
Yep.
These were my own personal trailers, though, not RV transport trailers. I guess I could carry a welder around with me.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure
they'd
they'd appreciate that one, yes.
So I ended up telling Ty, hey, you know what? We're getting into this RV transport. We were out of work for a long time. We were honestly hurting for money.
Yeah,
we could pay our bills. It was our truck payment we were worried about at the time.
Yeah, and at that time, that when we came over to RV transport, we were depleting our savings by putting the money into the truck that we needed to get rolling.
Yeah, we had to get the mud flaps and the DOT inspection as well as the auxiliary tank. We even kicked that around. So when it came down to the weight distribution hitch, we were talking $200 to $300 difference. And I was just thinking, I've been using the Husky Kerr Reese type hitches forever. I didn't know any difference. So to save the $300, I went ahead and went with what I was used to.
Yeah, we kind of thought it was Chevy versus Mercedes.
Well, we didn't think it was Chevy versus Mercedes. We thought it was Chevy versus Ford. And to me, there was no real difference other than some people would prefer a Ford and some people prefer a Chevy, but there's no difference.
Yeah.
You get in it, put it in gear, and drive. Now that I've had real-time experience on both hitches, it is a Chevy versus a Mercedes.
Yeah, huge.
Or should I say, a Chevy versus a Ram.
Yeah.
Let's trigger some people out there. Or a Ford versus a Ram, and the Ram being the higher quality.
Yes.
Now, just so you know, we don't give a crap what you drive. If it makes you money and you're happy,
fine.
We're good.
We'll just say a Pinto versus a Bugatti.
Hey, my Pinto hauled ass.
Right.
My first car was 72 Pinto station wagon. Dual Holly carbs, electronic ignition. Nobody would race me.
No. Pinto station wagon.
A Pinto station wagon.
Go big or go home, right?
I could pull wheelies on that
That's
car.
when it all started. Go big or go home.
That's when it all started.
So, but I know for a fact that he absolutely loves the Blue Ox. It's made a world of difference on that short wheelbase.
Well, ever since we got 260,000 miles on our truck, and when we did the ball joints, I started getting this memory steer. And then we got the dually because we couldn't get rid of the memory steer. We finally got rid of the memory steer.
We buy a new truck to get rid of the memory steer on the old truck.
Right. I mean, we had $5,000 into this memory steer problem.
And I know.
It was just a money pit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I talked to Moog to find out that they probably torqued my ball joints wrong. I replaced all the ball joints, but I told the mechanics how to torque them per Moog, and it did get rid of the memory steer.
And they were torqued wrong because the minute the second one pulled them off, they broke.
Yeah, they broke them because they were over-torqued.
Yep.
And so basically, I still think I have memory steer, but it's probably now the way the truck's always driven because the dually is so flippin' stable.
Yeah.
That
it don't move.
It don't move. And with the all-terrain tires of the black single rear wheel short bed, it has a little bit of, it'll sometimes follow the road lines. It could be the tires. They're the Toyo all-terrain tires. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it all out. But if I pulled a trailer with the Husky, and I'm not putting Husky on blast, it's just the fact that Husky is a weight distribution,
right,
not a sway control. When I put on the Husky, when the trailer would get pulled in from a semi, when the semi passes you, it kind of sucks the trailer over, which would bring the back of the truck over, and now you're correcting the steering to get back into your lane. Mm-hmm. With the Blue Ox sway control, our Sway Pro, diesels were blown by me. You were behind me. You didn't see me budge at all.
No, it didn't even. And before you could watch that. I remember one time going through South Dakota, and that trailer was going from one lane to the next. And I was like, just having
It
a
was
heart
almost
attack
hitting
back
the
there.
guardrail, and it was going over the white dash line of the other lane.
Yeah.
And the fact is I had the weight distribution. Mm-hmm. It was weight distribution, not anti-sway.
So the other day going to Pennsylvania, we were doing great, and then all of a sudden we kind of got a gust, and he's like, I think it's windy.
Yeah,
Where before he would have been like, oh my gosh, it's really windy out there.
I'd be white-knuckling it. Yeah. And I said, I think it's, is it me or is it windy out there? Because I couldn't tell. And Bunny looked it up, and yeah, sure enough, the winds were about 11 miles an hour with gusts of 18. And I was feeling the gust, but not that much.
Yeah, but you would have felt it for sure without the Sway Pro.
Oh, I would have been really nervous without the Sway Pro.
I'm like, what wind?
Bunny's in the dually.
I'm in the dually.
I don't know what you're talking about. Why do I change my voice when I'm talking like you? Why is it when people are mimicking someone else, they always change their voice to make them sound doofy?
Do I really sound like that, babe?
No, we're not drunk.
But no, definitely that Sway Pro has made a complete difference in the black truck.
Yeah, and when people would talk to me about the Sway Pro, I did not get it. I didn't listen. And when I'm seeing all these Sway Pros out there, and I just thought, what a waste of money.
But, it's great because for us being in the RV transport industry, it's great because it just goes from our truck to a different trailer. Like you said, you don't have to physically mount anything onto the trailer.
An actual sway bar.
Yeah. So it makes it a lot easier for people out there, even if you're not in RV transport, but you are jumping back and forth between different types of even work trailers. It works really well.
Now, we were so sold on the Blue Ox Sway Pro that we actually went and hooked onto our own enclosed trailer. We were thinking about bringing a couple of transport trailers if we got dispatched. Mm-hmm. And we were hoping to get one where the tongue was the low tongue and then the other tongue was the high tongue, because it's a little bit different.
Yeah, but when you want something, when you need something, it's never there until after the fact.
Right. So we brought our own trailer over to Dan's Hitch. We had talked to Dan a week prior, and we were supposed to go over there Friday night, and we had something come up, so we went over there Saturday, and once they closed, me and Bunny actually went inside. We brought our own little 4-foot table.
We did.
And they brought us out an actual brand new Sway Pro, and we put it all on the table, and we explained each thing about the Sway Pro and what comes in the box. So, like an unboxing without actually unboxing it, because the stuff weighs a lot.
Right.
It would have sucked watching us pull the head unit out of the box and the shank and everything.
You're going to be like, how old are these people?
So we show you everything, and we wanted to do it at Dan's Hitch because we were doing a video of RV transport equipment.
Yes.
At Dan's Hitch, and we were kind of walking through the store, and we demonstrated a whole bunch of things. Well, when we got to the weight distribution hitches, there was 2 of them, the Husky and the
Sway
Blue
Pro.
Ox,
Mm-hmm.
that Dan himself came out, and this is why we had Dan come out and actually...
Well, he's got a little more experience than we do.
Just 35 years.
Just 35 years.
Of owning Dan's Hitch.
Yes. Hitch experience.
So in that video, we told him we only wanted him to do a 2-minute blurb on the Kurt Hitch and the Blue Ox, just because we didn't want to make the video 30 minutes.
No, we just wanted to show what you could get there and the difference.
So if you go to our YouTube channel, you can actually look for that video. It's RV Transport Equipment, and it was filmed at Dan's Hitch, and you'll see how fast Dan talks. Bless his heart. He got his points across.
He did.
So this time we pulled up our trailer out front. We talked to Dan, and we let him, because there is a right way and a wrong way of hooking up weight distribution bars. Me, I would hook on the trailer, pull the tongue jack up, and muscle those chains up onto the shackles. I didn't know that those little points where you put the chain on, they're welded on, but they break. And also the hinge where it's riveted, where it pivots up and down, those break or bend.
Yeah, but...
I didn't know that.
I know, but, kind of step it back a little bit here, too. We came from the West Coast. Our cold was 50 degrees. So you try to muscle those up when it's
freezing.
negative 20 outside, and of course you're going to snap them.
Exactly. So he did a full demonstration on hooking up the Sway Pro, from measuring the front fender to measuring the rear bumper. He explains how much give or take on the front, but the back you want it to go down. It didn't matter how much, but it had to go negative. And we also have our Gen Y, so he did a little explaining on the Gen Y about being nose down and level, as well as hooking up the electrical cord and the breakaway cable using the padlock as a guide for the cables.
Yep.
So a lot of good, useful information there. He wasn't expecting fully what we were asking. I don't think he was.
No, I don't think so either.
He had to do manual labor by jacking up my trailer and jacking it down.
And the jack
He
on our
goes,
trailer.
"You don't have an electric jack?" And I'm like, "No." So I did bring out a piece of wood so you didn't have to jack it all the way down.
And the handle's a little cattywampus.
Yeah, the handle sucks on that jack. But we don't pull the trailer enough to switch it out.
No, not at all.
But so after he did all of that, we came back to our apartment and we did our review and we explained why we liked it so much and some examples and everything. So we do invite you to come to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/TowawayCouple. All one word, all spelled out. Or just search TowawayCouple on YouTube.
Yeah.
Bunny's over here looking at me like, am I supposed to say something?
I was like...
So, no, go watch the video.
Yeah.
We tagged Blue Ox in it.
We do tag Blue Ox.
They did not know we were going to do the video. We got a thank you on our Instagram. I don't know if you know that.
No, I do not know that.
Yeah, so I tagged them on Instagram and Twitter and on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And they thanked us on Instagram, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I also tagged Gen Y because we talked about it. Gen Y is probably my most favorite hitch of all.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you're going to do the Blue Ox, if you got to do one or the other, get the Blue Ox because it's required by the transport companies.
And in case any of you know, no, we don't. Tom doesn't get any presents. He doesn't get no Christmas presents. He doesn't get any birthday presents because whatever he wants, he buys. He only buys the best.
Yes, I buy it now. I don't wait till December. Why buy it in one day?
Right. I know everybody's like, "What are you getting Tom for his birthday?" I'm like,
nothing.
What would I buy him?
So, on the Blue Ox, definitely watch that video. Call Dance Hitch. This isn't a paid promotion. We just really love the service at Dance Hitch. We like the quality and we like how they explain everything. And when they say they'll get it done, they do get it done. You look on Facebook. Yeah, there are a couple people that didn't want to wait, and so they'll refer people to other places, and that's perfectly fine. You can go wherever you want. But the majority of the people know, and they will always say, call Dance Hitch.
Absolutely. They do what they need to do to get you out too.
Exactly.
Yes.
And they go above and beyond. We had them come in and we dropped off our dually there for 2 weeks to have everything done. And Ryan knew I was very meticulous. And he added a couple things knowing I would full well pay for it.
Yeah.
But he added it knowing that I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing it wasn't done.
And that is the truth. Oh my God, you have no idea how much that is the truth.
I have, what is it?
You have seriously
ADHD or whatever
OCD.
it is.
You're
OCD.
seriously OCD.
Okay,
yes.
I'm OCD. So, all right, so definitely go check out, go to TowawayCouple.com. There's a link to our YouTube channel right there.
Yes.
And we are going to come back with some industry news or rumors that we're hearing. Doesn't mean they're factual, it just means that we're hearing them, so we thought we'd pass them on to you.
Yes. So we'll talk to you again in here in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll be right back.
And we're back.
Industry news and more or less more rumors.
Right, but we don't know if there's truth to those rumors, and maybe you've heard them, or maybe we're just full of
Crap.
Yeah.
So, and there's always truth to rumor.
Yes. So let's just kind of date it. It is September 21st, 2022.
Wow. What time?
I guess 7:57.
7:57? All right. So
we are in crazy slowdown.
We've been in a slowdown for a while. So basically the RV industry shuts down in July for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And they come up with the tooling and the new model year and the layouts and stuff like that. And then they say it takes about 2 to 3 weeks after the shutdown before we start getting back up to speed.
Yes.
Last year there was no real shutdown.
No, because we were coming through COVID, so there was really no shutdown.
Everyone had their stimulus.
They did have a stimulus. But between, we still had slow periods and part shortages, but nothing like what's going on now.
No. So we
now
didn't understand when people say hold back 3 months to get through the shutdowns. We know what they're talking about now.
We have heard people say, oh, it's like this every year. It wasn't like this during COVID because everybody was on a buying frenzy. And like you said, people had stimulus money. But...
Well, they were getting unemployment. California, we know people that were getting $1,400 a week.
Yeah.
Unemployment
I know.
Week.
They were making more in unemployment than they were working.
So they were able to buy cars and all kinds of stuff and I think California still does that unemployment.
Yeah, I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Alabama, the second they could shut it down, they shut it down. We went from able to live comfortably to broke.
That fast.
So, and it was really kind of unexpected on us.
Yeah. So
each time they'd be like, "Oh, we're going to extend it another month." I'm like, "No, we're going to stop." So the RV transport industry is starting to see the signs of a lot of unemployment stopping, a lot of people out of work, the parts short, not just parts for RV, but all those container ships that can't get delivered, fuel prices going out the roof to deliver something. Now, I don't know, what did you say, a case of water went from $4 to $7?
Yeah.
That's almost 100% markup.
Well, it's just incredibly crazy. I mean, like you said, the fuel prices are bad. The economy's bad. Everything...
Our rent went up.
Everything's going up. So everything is a key factor. I mean, you got to think RV is it's having a splendor in life. I mean, you don't have to have it, but if you have the money, you want it.
Well, I think some people actually have lost their houses and they're looking at RVs to live in full time, but they're not looking at the cost of living in an RV full time.
I know. Exactly.
It's not as cheap as a lot of people think. I mean, we did it because we were able to travel around the country with our RV and get paid for it.
And we did live in our RV in an RV park for about 3 or 4 months, and it was just as much money as what we're paying in rent.
Exactly. So, but yeah, with the industry slowdown, interest rates are going up.
Yep.
Like a lot of things. So some of the rumors that we kind of been hearing is we were talking to a neighbor. And what company?
He works for Heartland.
Heartland. And we were discussing about signing our lease and everything. And he was he didn't want to say anything. He was secure in his job.
Yes.
But a lot of people were going to get laid off, and Heartland was going to only work the 2 middle weeks of the month, and the last week and the first week they were going to be closed.
Yep. We're hearing it with some of the other ones too. I mean, if you're in Elkhart, if you're in the area, if you just stop in a restaurant and you perk your ears up and you hear things, you hear people that work in these plants, and everybody's in the same situation. Even if they are working, they're only working part-time.
Right. They were working overtime.
Yes.
And now they're even worried about making, because in the Elkhart area, rents are so jacked up because of the RV transport industry that all these owners of houses and apartments knew that they had everyone by the gonads.
Yeah. But I overheard a conversation the other day, and they were saying, everybody in the plants was used to making like $2,000 a week, and now they're down to like $400 or $500 if they're lucky.
Right, and we were seeing all kinds of signs at every plant and every RV parts manufacturer of hiring bonuses of $2,500 to $5,000. Even the transport companies, some of them were offering hiring bonuses.
Right.
In the heyday.
Basically, you walk in one day and interview, you're working the next.
You're working that day, depending on how early you interview.
Guess what? You're not finding those signs anywhere anymore.
I mean, you can work at fast food.
Yeah,
I mean,
but working at fast food does not help us doing RV transport.
You know what, though? If it came down to it, I would go to work at McDonald's to pay our bills.
Well, hell, McDonald's is paying more than anything right now.
That is true. That is so true. But yeah, if you have to go with something temporarily or even make a career out of it that would be considered beneath other people, just remember their opinions don't matter.
No.
When it comes to paying your bills and taking care of your family, your opinion is the only one that matters. And if anyone has a negative opinion, you do not need those people in your life.
No, not at all. So basically what we're hearing is that, RV manufacturers are going to be, some of them are even talking of furloughing complete plants from November to January.
Minimum.
Some of them are talking only working 1 week a month. So you know what? We're all in this together, and basically, there's a lot of people that are leaving the RV transport, and you can't blame them.
No.
You can't blame them. I mean, we sat for 2 weeks between our last two dispatches. It seems to be the average is 2 to 3 weeks between dispatches. And
I've seen people that have been down for a month.
Yeah. So.
And keep in mind that, when the heyday, when you signed on, you had the pick of wherever you wanted to go. You might only have to wait a day or a couple of days if you only wanted to go to Florida or only wanted to go to Texas. There are people that only want to go one direction and one direction only. We have always said, if you're willing to go any direction, you can pretty much stay busy. Me and Bunny are willing to go any direction, and we were down for 2 weeks.
Yes. Yeah. Now, the other rumor is, and I hope it's a good one, that they expect everything to pick back up in January.
Yeah, now, I don't know what January means. Is there a election or
a magical switch that people are going to start?
Yeah, because they keep saying January, but then they also say they're expecting the turnaround to start in January, but us not get back till February.
So
we're not trying to scare anyone out of this business. Me and Bunny are staying in it. We're just trying to not educate, but just relay what kind of information we've heard to help you make a best decision. Because we just talked to one driver. He was sitting for 3 weeks, sitting at the yard, waiting for a dispatch. And I think the mindset was, he was there, he was available, he was ready to go, so he should be first. Where if you're in Texas or Oklahoma or Missouri or somewhere and you're on a list, you would become second to a dispatch because you would have to drive 12, 14 hours to get to Elkhart. And that's not the way it works.
No.
These dispatchers are clearly telling people, don't sit in the yards. Don't call them every day. If there's a list, you're on the list. But if you continually call them, my thought would be, how much farther are you going down the list for being annoying?
Well, and
I'm not saying it's annoying. You're trying to get work, but
let's put it into perspective. For my mindset, the first time we went on the list, we were number 12 because it was the very beginning of the list. So that's what I was thinking was the whole list. And then I got a peek at the list.
We got to see the list
from just one dispatcher, and I'm like, oh, holy crap.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we're all in the same boat. We don't want to make anybody's decisions for them, but, there's so many people that are like, I'm going to get into RV transport. And you know what? Word of advice is, one, no one's hiring right now.
Nobody.
But two, save your money. Don't get into it right now because you're just going to be like the rest of us and just sitting and waiting for dispatch.
Now, another thing we get, because we put out these videos and the podcast and information, we get a lot of people that will message us. How is your load board? How much are they paying per mile? Right now, I'll be honest. I'm not going to tell anyone how my load board is or how much they're paying per mile. I will give you information, but I'm not going to create competition for myself, and anybody else who's smart wouldn't be trying to get people to leave one company to go on top of them at their company.
Yeah.
So, but also, I mean, that's just me being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly is nobody's hiring.
No.
So even if I told you how our load board is, which is nothing, I'll just be honest, it's nothing now.
It's nothing. And, I mean, yeah, we volunteered to go to Canada.
Yeah.
And we jumped on the bandwagon, but guess what?
Now there's no Canada
runs either.
So there's people going out getting vaccinated to do Canada runs, and now there's no Canada runs because those have dried up.
Right. The only ones that I'm seeing that are Canada runs are CDL motorhomes.
Right. So we just heard that somebody went to a company, and it's a big company, and I was like, why are they going over there? And they're like, because they were told they would get dispatched. And I'm like, yeah, the first dispatch, they pretty much...
They guarantee
it. They guarantee it because most companies have loads that no one's going to drive from Texas for a load that's 200 miles.
No.
Or 300 miles. So what they'll do is they'll hire new drivers and lease them on and give them those loads that nobody else will take unless they're in the local area. Me and Bunny would take them only because we're here. It would only take us a few minutes to go get the trailer. We could do the load and be back home at night.
Yeah.
But someone who's going to drive 10 hours isn't going to come for a 200-mile load. So my thought was, okay, so they bring in the new people. They're not being, Starfleet's honest. They're not hiring nobody because they don't want to put someone in a bad position.
Correct.
But these people are going to come out. They're going to go through, I think they were supposed to go through orientation this week. And it wasn't the first load I was questioning. It was loads 2, 3, 4, 5 with 1,000 other drivers in competition.
I mean 3,000
or 3,000 other drivers, but even they're not hiring.
No, I know they're not hiring. No.
So, but I know that the company has at least 900 to 1,000 drivers.
Yeah.
And I'm more worried that they're going to spend all this money to drive up to Elkhart for an orientation, put money in their equipment, and get one load that pays $400, and then they got to pay the damage deposit out of that, and then
the pull-out fee.
And then pull-out fee. Well, maybe depends on the mileage, and then to be told, okay, you're going on a list, and the list is 500 right now, or even if it's 50, that's a lot of people ahead of you.
That could be a long time when plants are closing for a week or two.
Yeah, we thought we were going to get dispatched, and we were hanging tight. We pull Jayco's, and all of a sudden we weren't getting nothing. And we were talking about it. We're like, hey, we're not even hearing nothing. They're like, no one knew, but Jayco shut down for a week and a half. And it's fine. It's understandable. It just would have been nice to know.
Right. At least have the heads up.
A heads up that we're not going to make money for 2 weeks. And it's not our company. They didn't even know.
No. No one knew.
Nobody knew. And I totally understand the industry's slow. I'm not faulting
nobody.
Jayco. I'm not faulting any company for shutting down. But we have how many drivers in our yard? And if the list is 50 deep, what they do is they call down the list when they get a trailer. And then when whoever accepts it first gets it. But they start with the top of the list and work their way to the bottom of the list. So if they have something that's 600 miles, someone may not want to drive 14, 16 hours to come to Elkhart to do a 600-mile run to have nothing for another 2 or 3 weeks.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why we're sitting here in Elkhart, and that's why we've stayed in our apartment, just because of the fact that we can, take things. So.
Right. So the industry news is...
There is none.
It's going to be slow for a little while.
Yeah.
And our company's been totally honest with us, and
from day one.
From day one, that it's going to be really tough.
And so when people, talked about it, and when it gets slow, it gets really slow. We even had no clue that it got this slow.
Right. And as we were told, you are a contractor. Mm-hmm. You are basically owning your own business. Treat it as such. Businesses redevelop themselves all the time. They re-engineer themselves all the time. And businesses go out of business all the time.
Yep.
Now, the nice thing about our company, I don't know about all companies, is if we went in there and said we don't want to sit around for 2-3 weeks at a time to do a 600-mile run to get nothing else, we're going to de-lease. They would bring us back on when it picked up. And they would bring us on ahead of somebody new because we're going to be honest with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's all you can do. You know what? You got to understand, too, these companies, especially these transport companies, they have to put up with us calling every day, looking for loads. And you've got to understand, some of these people that are calling in are not really nice. I mean, yeah, everybody's frustrated. Everybody's in the same position. So all that we can do is just keep our heads up and keep going, or set it out for a couple months and find another job.
We know that they're not nice because we were, at our last company, we were in dispatch several times, and they put people on speaker when they're talking and they're on their computer. So you got like 5 dispatchers. Everyone's on speakerphone.
Yeah.
It was really hard to even pay attention in there. But you could hear the rudeness from the drivers. And I'm thinking, with a company that has over 3,000 drivers and they're hiring 20 at a time new, why would they even put up with someone?
We were in front of a dispatcher the other day, and somebody came in yelling at him.
Oh, my God. We walked away, gave him privacy.
And just going crazy on the pay versus fuel.
Yeah, the pay's dropped, the fuel's gone up.
So yeah, these poor dispatchers, they're going through hell, and as well as even
we're not
the upper
advocating
management.
For the companies. We're just telling you it's common sense.
Yes.
Don't hate the company. You're your own boss. Do what's best for you.
What is it? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, right. Basically, that's the best way to put it. So.
So be nice.
If you know information, feel free to let us know, and we'll put it out on a future podcast. But again, like I say, these are a lot of rumors we're hearing. We don't have any confirmation or any backup, but there is always truth to rumor. Mm-hmm. So if whatever we said, it might be 10% true. Right. But it might be 90% true. Just prepare yourself.
Exactly.
All right, so... next, we're going to talk about what's going on with TowawayCouple, and we're going to talk about what we're doing.
Yes.
during this time. So we'll be right back. And welcome back.
Hola.
Now we get to talk about ourselves.
We always talk about ourselves.
Yeah, but this is where people could turn us off and go about their life if they don't want to.
They don't want to hear what TowawayCouple's doing. Well, I kind of let the cat out of the bag already.
Yeah, we're so self-absorbed.
We are self-absorbed. So let me tell you, we had to
shit or get off the pot.
Yeah, and so we shit, and then we shit. The following day when we started hearing all these plants closing, and we're like, holy crap.
So we had till Sunday night to sign our lease on our apartment for another year. That was with the rent increase. Or the apartment threatened, because we have to give a 60-day notice, to increase our rent twice during the 60-day notice.
Yes.
And it was kind of a bullshit thing. I was not happy about it. But so we've been we did the Hershey. We dropped off at Hershey. We were comfortable. We kind of made some changes around our lives. We don't rely solely on RV transport.
No.
And nobody should.
No.
If you do, great. That's fine. But as we were talking to somebody,
it's too much of a volatile industry to be solely your provider.
Exactly. We have 3 sources of income. Actually, well, I'd say 6 or 5 sources of income, because we both transport.
Oh, yeah.
And we both have jobs, and I do the affiliate marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So we work for another company, and we also both transport RVs. Bunny has options though. She's DriveAway with 2 companies and TowAway with 1 company. I'm just TowAway with 1 company, so I'm the lame duck.
But there's no way that we could both do DriveAway right now, because we have a little special friend.
Yep, we have a dog.
We have a dog, so we can't do DriveAway with 2 motorhomes.
Right. So we also do affiliate marketing. I've been doing it for years and years and years, and it's at least a steady source of income,
right?
But we never know what it's going to be from month to month.
No, so you can't rely on it, but it at least pays some bills,
right?
So yeah, so now we have re-signed our lease in the apartment in Elkhart.
Our rent went up $70 a month.
Yeah, but so this is going to put us closer to dispatch. So if we get that phone call and they're like, "Oh, we only have this one, but it's 400 miles," we can take it, because we're here, and we don't have to drive 12 to 14 hours to come for a dispatch.
Yeah, because we were thinking that we would go back to Alabama. We have a house. It's paid for. We even pay for the utilities because we run our air conditioner so it doesn't get musty. We have our internet there because we have an alarm system, and we have our camera system.
Yep.
We keep our water on. The nice thing is the city doesn't charge us a minimum water bill because we're gone so much.
Yeah, it finally took them 2 years to finally just not even bill me.
And we have awesome neighbors that we can see on our cameras. They mow our lawn for us.
But we're just so incredibly rural. It's neither one of us wanted to go home. It's better for our mental and for our physical health to stay here in Indiana than it would be to go back to Alabama.
Exactly. And we like being in Elkhart.
We do.
We like, because we have a camaraderie with other transporters, and it's always fun to meet somebody who's been messaging us with questions, and all of a sudden they come out, or we're at Dan's Hitch.
I'm going to say Tom likes to go hang out at Dan's.
I do like to go hang out at Dan's Hitch.
Just sit there and talk to people.
Like Ryan says, he goes, he's a salesman. I am there on my own free will, and it'd be cool if I got commissions, but I don't make anything, but I just love to talk. As you could tell, you're listening to me talk right now.
That's why we do podcasts, so Tom can talk.
I could talk. But when we were at Dan's Hitch, a lot of people that are new to the industry will ask me why something is better than something else. And I always tell them, I'll tell you why I think it's better, and I will show them examples and compare them, and I will walk them all around Dan's Hitch store and stuff like that. And like Ryan says, it's better because I'm giving real life experiences and examples, and I tried and true and tested. I know what I'm talking about, and I can explain and I can answer their questions.
Well, because you can explain it the way that it works so much better, and
because I don't have a filter.
You don't. But also, you don't have to have a filter because you don't work there.
Exactly.
But the fact is you go in to buy something, and then they want to talk you up to something bigger. It's probably better, but you're thinking, okay, there's a salesman, they're trying to upsell me.
Right. A lot of times they have a lot of customers too, so they can't really. I was in there one time.
I was not finished.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So a salesman, when you're thinking they're trying to upsell you, when they're really trying to explain why something is better, but they can't get the same thing across to you as a fellow driver that's doing it and that uses it daily. So Tom can actually be the biggest upseller because he uses the product daily. And he loves to talk about the stuff that he has.
Exactly. Can I talk now?
Now you can talk.
But, there was I was in there one day. I told Bunny she has to go with me because it's really cool when people are watching our YouTube videos, our now podcast, and then when they meet us in there, it's really complimentary.
Yeah, it is. It's fun.
And a lot of times we don't get stuck there. We just enjoy talking to people, but we'll go there for just to pick something up.
We can never just go there for 10 minutes.
No, we're there for about an hour at minimum. So I was in there one day, and I was just popping in to get a cotter pin.
Uh-huh.
And because I was one lock short, so I had to go get a cotter pin.
One lock short of 16.
Exactly. I have a lock fetish. And one of the people that watch my YouTube, or Bunny's YouTube, or both of our YouTube, he was talking to me, and he wanted me to explain the Gen Y and the weight distribution hitches. And I was there for over 2 hours. I finally had to politely tell the guy, I gotta go. But I can imagine that when the people are talking to Ryan or Ty or them, and they're trying to explain to them, but they're trying to explain to them really fast because they have 2, 3, 4 customers standing there behind them waiting to ask questions. They can only give so much time per customer. Right.
And you got to understand that. They have a business to run.
Exactly. I mean, shit, if I could go to work for Dan's Hitch during the slowdown, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
Just to go talk.
Just to go talk to people. Get paid to go sit in the lounge and just bullshit for all day long.
So what
for hours.
Let me tell you why this worked.
But yeah, so we're hoping to get a couple dispatches. Mm-hmm. We're hoping at least to get one. We are going to be heading to Florida to our boys' houses, and we're going to drop off Bama, our new puppy, and we are going to jump a plane in Orlando to Jamaica for 17 days.
Yes, such a hard life.
We are going to put toes in the sand and
toes in the sand and drink in our hands.
Drinks in our hands, and we are not going to think about RV transport at all.
Well, I was telling Tom, I'm like, you know what? We just went to Jamaica in June, and I couldn't really enjoy it because I knew that, coming up on the end of the slowdown and the end of the year, I'm thinking, God, we could be home, doing a California run and making all this kind of money, and we're here in Jamaica. I know it sounds sad, right?
But the money is addicting.
The money is addicting.
Because you get paid immediately.
Yeah.
So you get paid your advance, and if you go to California, and let's just say it pays $4,400, you get $2,200. That's a lot of money, right? Just to accept the load. And then you can't wait to get there to get that dealer acceptance form to get the other $2,200. And then you want to get back as quick as possible to do another run.
Exactly. So I'm sitting there in Jamaica. We were there for 9 days, and all that I could think is we could be home making money.
Yeah, I mean, we make money in Jamaica. Okay, so people ask, So you go on vacation? No, it's part of our other company. We go to Jamaica. The nice thing is we go to Jamaica 11 weeks a year. And yes, we work for the company. So our airfare is covered, our hotel is covered, and we get a salary.
Yes. So
to sit in paradise.
Well, I wouldn't really call Jamaica in June paradise.
It's hotter than hell, but it was a fun party.
It was a fun party. So now we are going, we leave here Sunday. We fly out
Thursday.
week from tomorrow. And you know what? We know that there's no trailers here. We know that there's no money to be made. So we're just going to go.
We're going to go party.
We are. We're not going to even think about it. I'm only going to think about Bama.
Yeah, because our boys are going to watch our dog. And we were, last time we went to Jamaica, not last time, the time before. No, it was last time. We went in, our dispatcher says, "So, did you partake?" And I'm like, "No, you can drug test us right now."
Right?
We're not going to be stupid.
No. Because you know what? When times are good in RV transport, we're making good money. So
we're not going to
why are you going to ruin that?
No.
By a little partaking.
But we will drink.
Yes, because we don't drink at home.
No, if you look on our videos, we have a bar full of alcohol behind us, and all of it's unopened. And yeah, they can test us. They can come here and inspect every bottle and everything. We don't really drink, even at home. When we go to dinner, we're not wine or... We'll go have drinks with friends, but only a couple. We're not big drinkers.
No.
But in Jamaica... They better be carrying us to the room.
They better have gotten their stock of Don Julio.
Yeah, because that's what I drink.
Get ready for the tequila.
But yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. So we're going to focus on our other company we work for very heavily. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have a good time. We're going to show our guests a good time. And we're going to come back. We're supposed to be in the Elkhart area October 20th, but our bosses want to fly to Florida to hang out on the 22nd.
Yeah, they want us there a whole week.
So that would mean we'd just be chilling with our boys doing absolutely nothing.
I got grandbabies there.
We got grandbabies, but still we could be, well, hopefully, if we get a dispatch.
If we could get a dispatch, I'm back here.
Our bosses will have to go to Florida without us.
I'm like, you live in Michigan. I can come visit you there.
Exactly. It's only a 4-hour drive.
Right. Yeah. They live 4 hours from us, and we see them once a year.
If that.
We
do see them. We see them in Jamaica for 1 week.
So this is what such a hard life that we have, you know. Usually when it's slow in RV transport and it's cold and snowing here in Indiana, we're in Jamaica.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll be back in Jamaica January.
And then in February and March.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we'll be... Oh, my God. That's gonna be fast.
Well, and the other rumor was that I heard, and I don't know if it's a rumor. I don't know how much of the weather you can trust, but it's supposed to be a very cold and snowy winter, so... That's
going to suck.
That's going to be even worse.
So if you don't have tow straps, definitely check out Tractor Supply. They have this heavy... It's like $65, $75. It's an ultra heavy duty tow strap, but it's 30-some foot long. Carry your own tow strap because we see so many people with 2-wheel drives or even 4-wheel drives stuck in the snow.
Hey, Tom, why don't you carry that tow strap with you all the time?
I know. I don't carry it in the... Did I need it?
We needed it when a neighbor had to tow us back home.
Oh, yeah, we had to use this chain. But I always say, bring your own tow strap. But mainly it's for the winter.
For the winter, yes.
And when the fairgrounds or White Pigeon was mud pits.
And if you try to buy snow chains in and around Indiana, it's very hard to find snow chains because they're illegal in a lot of these states.
Yeah.
But you can get them at Ace Hardware.
In Middlebury.
In Middlebury. Yes. So definitely check out. And they already have them all ready for you. Yeah,
they're stocked up. And I've been offered to sell my chains to somebody. And I'm not going to sell my chains. I need them. Because if I get pulled in for a DOT inspection, I better have them.
Yes. So yep, and it's starting that time of the year. It's already starting to that 4-letter word.
September you're required to have them.
I know,
in
but it already snowed in was it Montana or Wyoming?
Something
one of those
like
places.
That. But we'll end this podcast with a good note. We delivered 6 RVs to Pete's RV Monday and Tuesday.
Yes.
And we overheard someone talking to them, and something about they sold 200 trailers at the Hershey Show. 200 trailers. So I asked them when I went back there, I'm like, did we hear that correct? You sold just one dealership 200 RVs? And she goes, 208. And I'm like, wow, congratulations in this economy and the interest rates. She goes, well, I'd like to think we have a great sales team.
Yeah.
And that has a lot to do with it.
So that being
I wasn't
said,
done talking.
Well,
Hush.
you go right ahead.
Hush, woman. So I asked her, I said, so was that good? And she goes, yeah, because last year we only sold 170. And last year we were hauling balls delivering trailers.
They couldn't keep them in stock.
Right. So 170 to 208 is huge.
So if all the dealerships
Bunny's
can
going to
do
cut
that,
me off here regardless.
Well, I did read something too about an Elkhart show coming up. And so yeah, if we can get all of these RV dealerships in here to buy the 2023 models, we can all start rolling again.
Exactly. See, that's one of the holdups is that they still got a whole bunch of 2022 models, and people out there know there's 2023 models. They don't want to buy something that's identical today when they have last year's model there. Nothing's different.
But you know what? I'm the type of person that's going to wait until the price goes down, and I'm going to buy the 2022 and 2023 because I'm getting it on sale.
Exactly. At 50% off because they need it off their lot.
But if you're listening to me, buy the 2023s.
Because we want to deliver. All right, so this is going to end our podcast.
Yes.
And again, we're going to try to break up our podcast into segments so that way if you don't like something, you can fast forward or you could just turn us off.
You guys are lucky because I can't turn off Tom.
No. She gets to hear. I TikTok a lot.
You do. You do.
So I stay quiet.
Yep.
I'm in my own world. All right, so we'll be putting out, we'll be in Jamaica. We're going to see about if we could put out podcasts. Before we leave, we got to do 2 more podcasts so that way I can release them on Thursdays.
There you go.
So every Thursday, look for a podcast. If you don't see a podcast, it's because we're in Jamaica and the internet sucks.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Or we might be drunk.
All right, check us out. TowawayCouple.com. We have resource link on there. It has hotels, insurance, and repair signs of the time. We have links for all kinds of stuff on there. It has links to our other podcasts, but you can watch or listen to our podcast on all your favorite podcast networks. If we are not listed on your podcast network of choice, send us a message and let us know what network that is, and we'll get ourselves added because we don't know all of them, and there's just hundreds out there.
And if you're new to this industry and you haven't happened to cross our YouTube, go back and watch all of our old videos.
Yeah, you got nothing better to do.
No. And when the commercials come on, just let them play.
Yeah, because that's part of our affiliate. It doesn't cost you anything to go take a leak during a commercial.
Right.
And
watch a Chevy commercial when you're driving a Ram.
Right. And then when you're on TowawayCouple.com, all the links we have on there are just standard Amazon links. It's stuff that we actually use. Nothing special. It doesn't cost you any more to use the links, but we literally make 50 cents or a quarter on purchases. But it's kind of cool when we see a check come in for $100 after a month or 2.
Right.
So we don't make a lot on that, but it's really cool. The other thing is follow us on Instagram and Twitter, TowawayCouple. When we go to Jamaica, you'll see a lot of Jamaica pictures. And then, because it's about us in the TowAway, we're not marketing anything. It's just a couple in the TowAway business, and that's, some people are like, why are you posting pictures of yourself? It should be trucks and trailers. No, dude. We're not making any money off of this. We're just doing it as a hobby and fun.
Exactly. Give you a back picture of our life, not just our trucks.
Exactly. And if you want more information and you want more information from more people, check out our Facebook group. It's RV Transport for New People. And our group is full of new people looking for information, as well as seasoned drivers who offer a lot of valuable information. But again, opinions vary. So you can resonate with one opinion better than another. I always say ask 5 people their opinion and go with whatever you feel. Don't take one opinion and run with it.
Nope, I think we're good.
I think we're good. All right, so until next Thursday.
We'll see you down the road.
We'll see you down the road.